Hey guys, how's it going? It's Blepner here with another team review, and today we're going to be looking over a team consisting of Toxicroak on the lead, Best Buddy, Rank 1, Alolan Ninetales, Shadow on the safe swap, and this Alolan Ninetales has Psyshock as one of its charge move. Obviously, it has Weather Ball Ice as its second charge move. And then we have my personal MVP of the Ultra League, Heliolisk, in the back. And so this team has gotten me past the legend mark multiple times this season. It's been super good. We've just had a lot of fun with it. More than anything this season, guys, I've been trying to find ways to have fun and use teams that are able to do quite well in the meta and are able to climb to legend, but also are able to, use strategies that you don't often see in the meta. Just in general, Pokemon that you don't see in the meta. And I think that the Alolan Ninetales and the Heliolisk are quite rare Pokemon in the meta. The Toxicroak is actually quite common. We see it very often nowadays, surprisingly. But, I think that Toxicroak is a very fun Pokemon. And originally I was using Buzzwole in the lead instead of Toxicroak. The Buzzwole didn't perform quite as well, unfortunately. But Toxicroak is also a very interesting Pokemon. It's very fragile, but it has a fantastic moveset. Counter is one of the best fast moves in the game. Mud Bomb is a fantastic coverage move right now in this very steel slash poison rich meta that we're seeing ourselves in. And then the Sludge Bomb is just such a good move. Sludge Bomb one shots all the fairies that often counter these fighting types. And it also does solid damage to, Mandibuzz, to pretty much any neutral matchup. You're going to see the Sludge Bomb one-shot a lot of things here. So without further ado, let's see how these matches go. So first off, we have Toxicroak into Sylveon. This is not a fantastic matchup because of the fact that Sylveon resists the counters. And so what I actually do in this matchup is that I farm up as much as possible before they get to the Psyshock, and then I do bait. Because of the fact that, in my experience, they always shield. Yeah, because they have a Charmer. They don't want to get rid of all this energy. That is pretty much in the range for them to get taken out by a Sludge Bomb, and so that's why I shield here. And then I do catch the Psyshock. I was counting. I know that they get to the Psyshock at that time. And so I catch onto the Ninetales, the Alolan Ninetales. I bait out a Swampert, and this is really good here. I could no shield this, but I do shield, and so now suddenly we were in a 2-to-1 shield advantage, and now we're in the 1-to-1s. It's not a fantastic situation here because of the fact that they do outpace me. I do catch. So this is a bad catch on my part. I should not have caught here because the Toxicroak would have most likely been able to do so much in the back. I also throw my energy here. This is also not a fantastic move because now I'm not getting any energy onto the Heliolisk. So overall, I would say this was not a great plan on my part. I do manage to get to take out the Swampert. And of course, they have another Charmer in the back. This is the classic ABA Charmer team, which people don't want to admit exists, but it definitely exists. And as you see there, we were able to use our bait move to our advantage. They thought that we were going to bait with a dragon move. We did not. We full sent that grass knot and we won that game. So next up we have a Walrein into our Toxicroak. This is a fantastic lead. And to be honest, we got a little bit cocky here. We do call the Earthquake. They could just take us out with the Earthquake here. But we're just reading the meta. We know that they're going to bait. and they do indeed bait. So what we do is we actually catch the second earthquake, the second icicle spear, onto our Alolan Ninetales. And at this point, the reason why we caught onto Alolan Ninetales, we were positive they're going to go for the icicle spear there, right? And the Alolan Ninetales was at the point where they can take them out with a Psyshock. So unlike Dazzling Gleam, where we would have to farm up a whole bunch more, we were able to just straight up take them out with the Psyshock. And that's super nice because our Ninetales is still very, very healthy here. We do go for the Weather Ball on the CMP tie. We want them to throw their energy. We're happy to take the CMP tie here. We're especially happy that they shield. So now we're looking like we're in a very good spot. They do actually very smartly undercharge. So now we're not in quite as good of a spot. What we need to do here is we are going to go into our Heliolisk, and we're going to blind take this Scald. So you see there, my Toxicroak is actually not quite in Ice Punch range. If they had Ice Punched here, we would have actually lost. You see they have a Cresselia in the back. This is a very common team with the Cresselia and the Poliwrath in the back. I could have taken that move actually. If I had taken that move, this would have been a much safer win here. What I'm doing here is I'm hoping that I can get to the double Sludge Bomb. I'm not going to get to the double Sludge Bomb, so I just desperately throw this Mud Bomb. We're in dire straits here. This is not by any means a good situation because of the fact that they have what is in the back. I actually forget, but they have they have the Poliwrath in the back. That's right. Okay, so I was very worried about the Poliwrath because of the fact that they were right about at an Ice Punch. I think that they would have gone to the Ice Punch there if they had not overtapped. But luckily, because they switched in at an awkward time, they actually overtapped, and we were able to take them out with a Volt Switch. So that was a very close matchup, actually. But thankfully, because of the power of Volt Switch, we were able to take them out. Next up, we have one of the worst leads we can see in the game. This is Jellicent. And Jellicent is actually probably one of the hardest counters we can face in the lead. And I just wanted to show you guys how we're able to counter the Jellicent here. They were very worried about the Dazzling Gleam. This is the power of the Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Shadow Alolan Ninetales hits hard enough with the Dazzling Gleam that they would be able to, that we would force a shield advantage if we went straight for the Dazzling Gleam. So they're forced to go into the Weezing. And wow, what a mistake I make here. Actually just letting the Overheat go. So after that really good situation where we were able to potentially flip the lead matchup versus the Jellicent, we just let it go. I'm not sure about that move. I thought that they were going to go for a Brittle Swing. But here we see that they actually are running an insane team, and they're running an insane moveset. They have Bubble Beam on the Jellicent. Now let's not hate the Jellicent here because they are doing a kind of smart strategy, which is the timeout team, but it's a very unique timeout team, and they're running the Belly Bolt in the back. I can't hate them for this. A lot of people hate the timeout teams. But I don't care that they're joining a timeout team. I think that this is an amazing, really interesting team. It offers me a huge win con here. But you do remember, I did shield up the Bubble Beam. I can't hate them for throwing the Bubble Beam there because that was their win con. But the fact that we shield up a Bubble Beam on the Helioptile makes this game a little bit closer. But ultimately, you're going to see that they don't really have a win con here. They have to throw immediately. This is a Bubble Beam, so they're underestimating the power of my Toxicroak. They actually they do kill my Toxicroak there. I thought that my Toxicroak would live, but you're gonna see that even though my Toxicroak dies, I force a shield here with the Breaking Swipe. The Bubble Beam does no damage. There was no win con for them realistically here. They were trying to play a team that would time out their opponents, I guess, if they can't win on alignment. Because Bellibolt is quite bulky, but the thing is, Helioptile is so good against Bellibolt, and they got such an amazing lead. Okay, so here, um, it looks like they lagged. They did not lag. They thought I might catch the move. That's why they paused there. The reason why I included this battle is because Defense Deoxys is actually the most dominant possible Pokemon that I can face in the lead. And I'm showing you how I managed to defeat the Defense Deoxys lead here. I'm insanely weak to Defense Deoxys. Toxicroak is one of the best matchups for Defense Deoxys, and Helioptile is also one of the best possible matchups for Defense Deoxys. So you see we have the Toxicroak in the lead. We have the Helioptile in the back. And so this strategy was actually thought up by my friend Yu Pancho. Yu Pancho was in the stream with me and thought up this really good strategy to defeat the Defense Deoxys lead. And you see here that we are able to get to this Weather Ball versus the Greedent. We're able to farm down the Greedent due to this. If we were really clever, we could have undercharged the Weather Ball. We could have gotten one more counter, I think. I don't think we maybe could have gotten two more counters, at least one more. But as it stands, we throw the Sludge Bomb, we get a lot of energy, and suddenly this is a pretty good situation. You know, they throw the Psycho Boost, it does a decent amount of damage, but they have the Greninja in the back. And so in general, if they have a Pokemon with not a lot of fast move pressure in the back, like a Greninja or even a Registeel, honestly, would not be too bad in this situation. In general, we're in a really good spot here because of the fact that the Toxicroak is able to shield and farm down, and now we do have the Mud Bomb. The Mud Bomb would take out the Greninja, and that is a good game. So I was really happy to take out the Defense Deoxys lead here, and here we have a Charizard lead. It's another really difficult lead for us. And so what we do here is we actually go into the Alolan Ninetales. We double call the baits. And so here's the thing, is that we are in the 2800s here. We are climbing to Legend. If you're above Legend, you do not call the baits. You do not play it this way because of the fact that people above the 3000s often do not bait in this way. Especially not in like the 3400s, 3500s. But if you are in the 2800s, 2900s, I would just say call the baits because of the fact that people that are aspiring to Legend oftentimes bait, oftentimes try these tricky moves, and you see that we just win the match. Yeah, why not? You know, like that is the easy win con for us, is to just double call the baits and then shield the third move, because the third move will be the Blast Burn. And so as you see there, we're able to win that matchup versus Charizard leads super easily. And in this next matchup, they switch it into a Galarian Weezing, and that's great. This is why we have the Psyshock. I think we're going to shield here versus the... No, we don't shield. We don't shield because we do live the overheat. And so therefore we just no shield but play rough. I had a sneaking suspicion they had play rough there because they switched into the Toxicroak. But you never know for sure. You know, they could have easily had overheat there. Luckily I called that correctly. I would have just, like, looking back, I definitely would have just shielded up the play rough there. But here, okay, we pivot. We actually pivot into the Heliolisk. This is going to be just an Ice Spear. We're calling it. We're feeling it. You know, like they could have gone for the Earthquake, but that is such a huge energy sink here. And you know they have the Nidoqueen in the lead. Since they don't have since they have the Nidoqueen in the lead, we know that they're not going to want that huge energy sink of throwing all their energy into Earth power. And that's why we called the 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 poison fang. Um, and so now we're gonna go for a mud bomb. This will kill. They probably shield. Yeah, they do shield. So because of the shield, we do go for the weather ball. This weather ball will kill. This is a snipe, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you snipe. It's not a great situation here. We definitely play this one out pretty rough, but you're gonna see that we do manage to cinch the win because this weather ball is gonna do more than enough damage to take out this Walrein. Yeah, so this is why you run a super high rank Shadow Alolan Ninetales. I think I included that battle because I wanted to show you guys why you run that high rank Shadow Alolan Ninetales. It is thick. It is super thick. That's the main takeaway. That's why you run the Alolan Ninetales. Unlike a lot of ice types, it number one resists or not resists. It takes neutral damage from fighting, unlike all the other ice types. And then on top of that, it also it's incredibly thick. A lot of people don't think that Alolan Ninetales is that thick because they don't have a Super XL one. Maybe they have one that's like a hundo or like a 96% or something. Mine is 5 attack, 15 defense, 15 hit points. I can't recommend it more. The only reason why I spent so much Rare Candy XL and so much time and effort leveling up friendship with this Pokemon is that I think it's super good. You don't see it against any Steelix in these sets, but that's just because it has such a dominant matchup versus Steelix that I was able to counter them no problem. So yeah, if you want a Pokemon that is good against the common monsters of the meta, such as the Dragon types and the Steelix, then I would highly recommend it. But in general, it's also just really good. The poison types are really common right now, especially with the Psyshock and the Psyshock really flips a lot of matchups. So I would highly recommend it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you all next time. Maybe I'll make a video for Catch Cup. Bye.